Hi, welcome back to the St James's Church YouTube channel. My name is Ruth and I'm the youth worker here, and we're going to be continuing on our journey talking about some of God's promises. So let's get started. I don't know if you've realised this week, but we have been either the Sunday that's just gone or the Sunday that's coming will be our harvest service. And normally harvest is such a big deal for us. We do like collections and celebrations. However, as normal, this year will be slightly different. But I wanted to talk a little bit about harvest. And at my school, we were always asked to bring in tins for harvest, tins of food to give to a local food bank. And like most years, we would get maybe, in a school of a lot of kids, we would probably only get about 200 tins, which sounds like a lot, but wasn't enough for us to be giving. And one year they were like, right, so we're going to make this into a competition. And when they made it into a competition between each form group, I think that the total was probably around 2,000 tins. The whole entranceway of our school, which was quite a big room, was just covered in tins. It was insane. They had to get trucks to come and bring all these tins to take to the food bank, which is really impressive. And last year I went to the Robert Ferguson Harvest Festival, the primary school, and they brought a bunch of tins, and it was really cool to see how giving everyone was. So when I was talking to Andy, he told me that food banks can't accept tins that have gone past their expiration date, so they're out of date, which for me, it seems a bit silly because tins especially, right? That food has been contained and there's like nothing that can get to it. So I would definitely eat something that was out of date if it was from a tin. From a tin, yeah. Because if you think about a tin, it's like airtight. What's going to happen to it? I think tins last forever. You're looking at me like that. I would. And like a lot of food has, well, every food has a sell-by date. And often you'll go to the supermarket in an evening or whatever and look, and a lot of food has like been marked down. So we went to the supermarket and this is the only thing we could find. But I have some cut kiwi, melon and strawberry, which is reduced because it goes out of date today. Is today the 26th? Yeah. It goes out of date today. So this has been knocked down from £2 to 60p. And if you are a student, so students don't have a lot of money, and I'm not a student, but I'm kind of still got the mindset of a student. So this would be a deal. Like if it was 60, I would buy this for 60p, right? Wouldn't you? Yeah, pretty good. But I also got one, it's slightly different. This is a berry medley. Looks like it has strawberries and grapes and blackberries. Grapes a berry? Should we find out? Hey Siri, are grapes a berry?
Here's an answer from wikipedia.org. A grape is a fruit, botanically a berry, of the deciduous woody vines of the flowering plant genus Vitis.
Grapes are berries. Who knew? So the supermarket, so this cost me £2. I cannot believe I bought this for £2. Like, this is how committed I am to my work that I bought this for £2. And this goes out of date on the 29th, so in 3 days. But really, looking at the fruit, there's not that much difference between these two. I don't think that this is worth 60p and this is worth £2. Like that just seems a little bit off to me, don't you think? And often we see things that maybe are a bit damaged in a supermarket or maybe a little bit past its best, and they're always marked down. And I was thinking about that and thinking about all this fruit that is cheaper and will potentially be thrown away because it's not as good as another fruit. And I was thinking about God's love and how God's love is like the complete opposite to that. God's love, you know, if you're a bit reduced, if you've got one of these yellow stickers on, it doesn't mean that you're past it, and it doesn't mean that you don't get God's love, because in God's eyes we are worth £2. Hang on. Let me rephrase that in my head.
That's a quote for the ages.
That's going to be like the blooper, you know, when it goes black and white. I'm great at editing. And God's promises are a little bit like that. God's promises don't have an expiration date. They're not going to go off and get reduced to a yellow sticker. They last forever, and his love lasts forever. And that's really cool. So I have a little Bible verse for you. So God's promises are so big and so important, and his love is so big and so important that he doesn't put an expiration date on it. It's not like,
well, if you haven't said sorry for stuff you've done within 7 days, you're out, you get a yellow ticket, you know, not great.
His love is overarching and never ending. And in the Bible, this is John 3:16. I did not feel me saying the verse, so let's do this now on the train. So the verse says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but will have eternal life." That's the video. And God shows just how much he loves us in his parables. Think of the parable of the prodigal son. He asked his father, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to wait till you're dead, give me all your money now," and took away with all that money and squandered it away, spent it on, I don't know, casinos and booze and all of this stuff that wasn't particularly great, frittered it away, had no money, and ended up being in the worst job possible, feeding the pigs. He would have loved the food the pigs had. He was that hungry and he didn't know what to do, and he thought, you know, maybe my father will give me a job back at his farm, because I know that he won't love me enough to want me as a son, but maybe he'll have pity on me. But when he went back, he found that there was no expiration date on the father's love for him. The father was like, "I want you in my life, like I want you to be my son." And that's how God feels about us. No matter how far away we feel from God or how rubbish it is, there is no expiration date, because God still loves us, still accepts us, his promises still hold, and that is really awesome, and we should be super grateful for that. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Goodbye. Oh, that's lame, isn't it? I don't know, I never know how to, I like to like say something serious and then like cut away to me going, this is ridiculous, or what am I doing, or why is my life like this, or the best one, you started clapping and I was like, yeah, we did it at the end of the video. I tried really, really hard. Okay, turn it off.